Alright, now when you talk about clothing, there's basically clothing that you're going to have in your pack and clothing that you're going to have on you. When you hear ultralighters talk about base weight is going to be everything you can fit in your backpack minus the clothes you have on, minus consumables. Consumables are going to be anything that you use up. Water, food, fuel, toiletries, first aid, anything that you're going to be using and possibly replenishing is a consumable. So clothing is kind of the next natural progression under there. Now I have a couple different options, and obviously I haven't brought anything concrete down. I won't bore you with weighing all this stuff out. When we do a finalized packing, I'll probably bulk it all together and tell you what my base weight is, my skin out weight, which is basically if I was wearing nothing and everything was in my pack, that's what a skin out weight is. So you have your base weight, which is what we just said, everything that's going to fit in your pack except for what you got on your person and things that are going to fluctuate, your consumables. So your skin out weight is going to be including your clothes that you're wearing. So we're going to kind of go over both. I have a very lightweight REI convertible pants. Convertible pants are kind of hit or miss with ultralighters. They are a little bit heavier because these tend to have more pockets. More guys tend to go with an ultralight short. I'm going to want long pants and something that's going to be quick drying, especially in the desert section. I want something to cover my legs so I don't get sunburnt. Something quick drying when you're fording rivers up in the Sierras. So this right now is coming. I really like having the added bonus of the pockets and whatnot, but we'll see. A backup shirt. This is just a cheap starter. It's called a Dry Star. It's from Walmart. It's a very nice athletic wear. I haven't taken it on any longer hikes than a day, so I don't know how it wears. When you get the little bit of rougher athletic material, sometimes you get some weird wear areas. I'll just leave it at that. A fairly lightweight backup hiking sock. Now this is what I'm going to consider my sleeping sock. Something to put my feet into to let my feet dry out and get warm. Everything else is going to be a lot lightweight. This one I just was wearing today actually, so they're a little dirty, but very lightweight, very compactable. Second pair of socks. Now with that, let's get to also the long sleeve shirt. I haven't found a long sleeve shirt that I like, and again I want something that it'll cover me not just for bugs but for sun. And honestly right now I've got some trail riders or rail riders coming, both their pants and their shirt. And what was the other one I ordered? Oh, some of the Duluth, they have some really lightweight shorts from Duluth that are about 6 ounces, so we're going to play with those a little bit. Again, a lightweight athletic underwear. Some people don't wear underwear. A long time ago when there weren't the abundance of synthetics, when I did an 11-day hike up in Canada when I was in high school, we didn't wear underwear because there were basically really only cotton boxers and stuff, and cotton is, as most people know now, is pretty horrible for a lot of reasons for hiking. So having a lightweight athletic pair reduces chafing, really wicks away moisture. I won't get in too depth with it. Now here's a secondary option, is again a little bit longer than you'll see most ultralight guys hiking with, but very lightweight athletic pair of shorts. I'm not big on the little running shorts that you see old men running around in, and a lot of ultralighters will wear those little 3-ounce running shorts. I personally just can't wear little boy shorts while I'm hiking around. One of my favorite shirts that's starting to get worn out, this is REI also. I don't think it has a name, but it's a very soft and wicking t-shirt. Again, REI, especially me being a bigger guy, REI is great for that because their extended sizes tend to go on clearance a lot. I think I paid $8 for that shirt. So a lot of that is pretty budgeted in. Again, very lightweight athletic socks. These things don't weigh much at all, and that's pretty much what I'm going to be wearing while I'm hiking. A nice sun hat. Now I do have my military boonie, which is a hot weather hat, but one of my goals with this is I'm not going to be wanting to switch out a lot of gear. You're not going to see me have a tent in for the Sierras that I didn't have earlier, just to save money on bounce boxes and shipping and stuff. Primarily my shipping is going to be mostly lightweight consumables and food for my drop boxes, and that's just to save me money right now. Again, I'll get into this a little bit later, but very lightweight, again, clearance, REI, normally like a $40 hat I got for $20. Extremely lightweight, beads off the water very well, has an adjustable drawstring, and then also has magnetic closures. So if you can see, that'll draw the hat up narrower when you don't need the wide brim. But a wide brim hat is almost key, not only for sunshade, and this doesn't breathe as well as I would like, which is where I started to say about the military hot hat, but it does have a little bit of mesh in here. I'll probably put a bandana around underneath it or something, but again, very lightweight, dries quickly under the rain. A wide brim hat is almost invaluable with a bug net, which is going to be key when we get down to more stuff. Now, as far as warmer gear, this is where my bulk comes in a little bit. I don't have a lot of the lightweight stuff that a lot of other guys have. Again, here's another REI. I think I paid $8 for this shirt too. It's a windproof, sort of a Polartec fleece, but they don't call it that. It was their REI brand. It's a little bit heavier because it does have tiny little pockets, and it is a zip, and anything with zippers, you're going to add a little bit of weight. But the other thing, with being such a large guy, a lot of this stuff is all XXX, 4X, depending on the brands and the sizing. So when I give you my ounces and my weight, you better know that the shirts are in a tall, a 3X tall. The pants are going to be in a tall. My sleeping bags are going to be in a long. All of that adds weight. I'm not a tiny little guy. So when you see a lot of the weights for the clothing and the base weights, you got to kind of take that into consideration. Haven't decided on gloves. These have been with me all over, up to 10,000 feet. They've been sewn up. They're just old, one of the first wool gloves I bought. Have a little bit of grip on them, and they keep your hands warm while you're hiking, even completely soaked. It's just more of a mindset. You got to get past the uncomfortableness. I do have some fleece ones, but they're not very lightweight, so I haven't settled on a glove that I really like. For a hat, I have a Under Armour, more of a balaclava, and probably be wearing this at night when it gets really cold. It's one of Under Armour is a great brand. It's very small, very lightweight, dries quickly, and I may be getting more of their stuff for base gear, just for its compactness. Compare it to a standard just boonie. You can see the size difference. I own both of those, so the cost is not really coming into play on that stuff. I'm not buying any new gear. Again, I may try and get some silk long underwear. These are Poly Pros that I got at Costco. They're not the most lightweight thing, but probably be taking maybe some of them, depending on what my sleep system is. If I go with that quilt, I may pick up and go with the long underwear. Also, if I'm only carrying that 40-degree bag, it gets cold in the desert sections. A lot of people go with a lightweight bag, very little shelter system, and they realize it's in the desert and it's going to be super hot during the day. They're just going to sit under the stars. Well, it'll get below, if not freezing, at night. One of my favorite hats, another REI clearance. You're going to see a big theme with this. The fabric is waterproof. It's event. It's got a great hat. It'll probably be a little bit overkill for most of it until I get to the Sierras. It's not that uncomfortable to sleep in, and if I go with a very little shelter setup, having a bill on your head while you're sleeping helps keep a bug net off your face, and you can literally just go with a sleeping bag and a bug net and have that poncho over the top. It works out very well. The flaps come down to cover your ears. It's got nice coverage, but it's still in a ball cap configuration. I really like it. This does have Primaloft in it, so it has the same insulation, synthetic insulation, that my sleeping bag does. Means that even though the event's not going to be not allow water in there, synthetic insulation is still one of the better things. My tongue is starting to get tied. Let's stop clothing there, and footwear will be a separate section, but I think that pretty much covers it. You know, that's going to be your bulk. Right there is there's all my clothes, and although it doesn't look like much, clothing is where you can save a lot of bulk. Now obviously there'll be a couple things that will be lighter, but more important than just being a couple ounces lighter, look for stuff that compacts down more. Having more compressible clothing will allow you to really carry a smaller pack in the end. It's not just about the weight, it's going to be about how far you can compress it. And with that, if I don't go with the sniveler that I mentioned in a previous video, and which means I'm not carrying the poncho, this is pretty much my go-to winter jacket right here. Again, REI clearance. It's a 4XL. It's a little bit big, but it is Primaloft. It's somewhat waterproof, not really. Has a very lightweight sil nylon outside on it. The arms zip off, and you can wear it just as a vest. So for sleeping, it's amazing. I will take the arms off, roll it over my feet to keep my feet warm, and then I still have my core being warmed up by the vest. And then throw on a warm hat because there's no hood on there, and you're pretty comfortable with not carrying a lot of gear. And I guess that's, you know, it's not as compressible as down, but there's a lot of guys that carry down as a jacket, and I don't believe in that, because I choose to hike through the rain. So if I get a little wet, it's still got to insulate me. So there's my clothing, and we'll move on.